Hello everyone, my name is Justin Haney. This is my EDL 856 Module 1, Various Communication Forms and Personal Video. A little bit about me. I grew up in Hoisington, Kansas. I played football at Sterling College. Job history includes middle school PE in Dodge City for 2 years. I'm in my 9th year of teaching middle school PE in Hays, Kansas. I've taught driver's ed for the last 6 years. I coach football, boys and girls wrestling, and track. My hobbies include obviously sports of all kind, big Chiefs fan, Royals fan. I enjoy food. I'm a big foodie, trying different restaurants, outdoors, exercise. I've recently started Ubering and DoorDashing as kind of just little side jobs. Good way to pass the time, make a little extra money in the summer. And then if you can't tell by my pictures there, I spend a lot of time with my dog. He's a 2-year-old golden doodle. And if you hear chewing and things going on in the house, that's him over there on the couch making a ruckus. If you can't tell a little bit, sports have been a big part of my life. I was the first person in my family to go to college, and football got me there. It got me a scholarship. Without sports, I honestly don't know where I'd be. I didn't know where I wanted to go when I went to college. Obviously, football helped me decide that a little bit. And then when I got to college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. But just thinking about reflecting through my life, I knew I wanted sports to continue to be a part of that. So kind of led to teaching and being a physical educator and going through tons of different coaching and things has kept me young. My school is Hays Middle School. We have an attendance of 750, grades 6 through 8. Our average class size is 25, low socioeconomic percentage of 39. Our district currently is in efforts to pass a bond issue. Our top 3 employers in town are Hays Med, Fort Hays State University, and USD 489. I would consider Hays a very white-collar community compared to the rest of the western part of the state of Kansas. Very educated, and there's good things that come with that. And also some things you really have to work through with communication with parents and other things that have definitely made me a better coach, educator, and hopefully future leader. Communication is the real work of leadership. Communicating with my community. My number one communication form is a Remind app. It's free messaging. It's an app everybody can download. It can either go out as text messages or go through notifications on their app. I use it in my squad, which is what we call our homeroom. On my sports teams, I have the parents and students sign up for it as transparency. I feel like is a great way to communicate through, and it's a must to make sure everybody's on the same page and keep everything rolling. The second form that I use more often than not is email. We have a school-issued email. I send out quarterly class highlights, respond to questions from parents and students, communicate about classroom success and areas for improvement. My third form of communication I use most often is telephone, and I use it to discuss areas that need more detail and explanation. If parents really need to talk, I'll go by that, and usually I'm using my own personal cell phone on that. In-person conferences, sporting events, beginning of season parent meetings are all in-person things that don't happen quite as often, but definitely are a little more personable. I really enjoy the beginning of the season parent meetings. That kind of establishes that communication and just kind of lets them know what I'm about, who I am, and kind of sets that good relationship up that's definitely much needed with parents. And then the last thing I do is I contact local newspapers to give them end-of-season results and short write-ups on our successes through the season. Nothing comes to mind that I wish I could use, but I can't. I did have social media accounts for my sports teams, but I found out that honestly led into a lot of headaches, people just messaging on there, and I honestly spent way more time on there than I would like, just responding to questions and other things that the Remind app has really been able to fix for me, as they're not able to just respond right away. They actually have to write out an email if they have a quick question That saved me a ton of time. Unforgettable introductions for educators. The first time you meet someone sets initial thoughts, presumptions, subconscious opinions of an individual. As an educator, coach, and administrator, it is vital to make quality introductions. Whether you're meeting a stakeholder in your education system or interviewing for a position, the first experience of an individual can often set the mood for the entire relationship. Does your introduction convey trust, openness, interest, respect, and warmth? Strategies that I definitely plan on using as a future leader and currently use several of them is just good body language, making eye contact, being energetic, smiling, and I think a firm handshake when you shake hands with somebody goes a long ways. Dress for the occasion. If you're applying for a position that you want, dress for that position, how you're going to dress for on a daily basis, and overdress if anything. Reveal your personality. Just don't be a stick in the mud. Show who you are, and tell your story and why you do and not just what you do. District policy for communicating. We've never had any discussion on policies on communicating in my building. I searched our handbook for anything that may have a policy on communicating. I couldn't find anything, but we have discussed strategies in meetings and other things. One thing our principal pushes is quarterly parent emails that just highlight our units, things to know, and then to brag about ourselves a little bit. We always talk about transparency, being open and honest, keeping everybody on the same page, and keeping everybody in the loop. And the last thing we push is teachers are the first line of communication. First through an email, then a phone call, and lastly a conference if needed. But teachers communicating with parents often helps us avoid bigger issues down the road. I'm not going to read through all my outcomes and reflections, but I'll leave it up here for a second. And then I use some references, as you can see through there. And I look forward to meeting everybody in class, and good luck on all your modules and this semester. Thank you.